Please keep it going for AJ, everyone.
Hey, thanks. All right, so when I was in my early 20s, I was living and working in New York City. And I'd just broken up with my girlfriend, and I was really bummed. I was very sad. My brother knew this, and he gave me a call, and he said, hey, I'm thinking about moving to San Diego. Do you want to join me? And I thought about it. I said, yeah, sure, but how are you getting down there? And he said, I'm going to drive down there. I'm actually renting a truck, and he was going to go with his girlfriend, and they're going to tow their car behind them. He said, you can come, but you're going to find your own way to get there. So I said, okay, well, let me think about it. And then I ended up buying my sister's car from her. So I had a used car, and I was driving cross country, following my brother in a truck who was going at tops 55 miles per hour. He was going very slowly. So it was a very long, slow ride. And I was pretty cocky, so I drove the entire way by myself. I didn't alternate with him or anything. So I was very lonely, too. I was in the car by myself for a long period of time. And I knew it was going to be a weird trip after the first day. I think we're in Indiana, and we're sleeping overnight. And I got a knocking on my window around, we're sleeping in the car. I got a knock on my window around 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. And it was my brother. And he was sleeping in his car that was being towed, and I was sleeping in my car. And I said, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Why are you knocking my window? And he said, you won't believe this. Somebody tried to steal my car. And I said, you were sleeping in your car. How's that possible? So I got in my car and walked over, and I looked at his car that was in the trailer. And sure enough, somebody had undid the chains that were connecting his car to the trailer. And apparently they saw that he was sleeping in there, and then they left him alone, but it was kind of crazy. So I said, that's interesting. I walked back to my car, opened my trunk, took out my crowbar, and for the rest of the trip, I slept with that crowbar cradled like a teddy bear. Just in case, you never know. So it was a very interesting trip. It was very trippy. So I was driving cross country by myself pretty much, and we really only stopped to eat at fast food stops and get gas, and that's it. And we slept maybe from 2 a.m. till 6 a.m. So very little sleep, very poor food, and I was very lonely and just by myself. So I knew I was kind of losing it mentally, because by the third day I was driving and I was thinking to myself, these are beautiful clouds. And then I realized, wait a minute, I've been looking at these clouds for half an hour while I'm driving. Haven't looked at the road once. And I knew I was kind of losing it mentally. So eventually we went across I-80, hit Aspen, Colorado, and then from Aspen you take I-15 down to San Diego. But it's a very windy road that follows the Colorado River. And by then I was just borderline hallucinating from lack of sleep and lack of food and everything else. And the road is actually dynamited out of the side of the mountain. So it's a very windy road that goes up and downhill along the side of the mountain. And on the other side is a sharp drop off to the Colorado River. So I was following, I was going uphill, downhill, and I realized I couldn't really tell if I was going uphill or downhill. It was almost, tough to tell which direction I was going in. And the only way I could really tell was by looking to my side at the mountain. Problem was the mountain was a bunch of layers of rock that were in various angles, and so I had no idea which way I was traveling. And I'm just like, okay, I'm going to stay between these lines and hope I don't crash into somebody else or do anything crazy. So that was definitely a crazy, trippy moment. Finally, luckily, I got all the way to San Diego, got to the apartment complex, parked my car, went inside, collapsed, slept for maybe 20 hours, came outside, I was starving, and I'm like, you know what? Let me go buy some food, and actually some real food from like a supermarket or something, and cook myself a meal. Came outside my car, got in, turned the key on, went from park to reverse, and the shifter went all the way to number 3 with no difficulty whatsoever. And I realized that my transmission was gone. So to this day I wonder, did my sister know? That's my story. Thanks, everyone.